The dust motes danced in the afternoon light as I pushed open the door to Leo's old room. It was time for a spring clean, or so I told myself. I hadn't been in here since he moved out. The air was thick with memories of crayon drawings and scraped knees. Tucked away under his old bed, almost swallowed by shadows, was a small wooden box. My heart gave a little jolt. Leo was never one for keepsakes. Curiosity got the better of me. I pulled it out, the latch creaking in protest. Inside, there was no childhood treasure. Just stacks of paper. Not letters, but bills. Angry red letters stamped with overdue and final notice. My stomach twisted. There were legal documents I didn't understand, and at the very bottom, a burner phone. The kind you see in movies. Cold, anonymous, and terrifying. Who was my brother? My mind raced. This wasn't the Leo the first knew, the one who always had a ready smile and a helping hand. A plan, desperate and reckless, formed in my mind. I had to know the truth. The next evening, I followed him. My car felt like a stranger's as I tailed his beat-up sedan through unfamiliar streets, my knuckles white on the steering wheel. He pulled up to a nondescript warehouse in the industrial district, the kind of place you speed past without a second glance. I watched from the shadows as he slipped through a side door. Peering through a grimy window, the scene inside stole my breath. It was an underground gambling den, buzzing with a dangerous energy. Smoke hung heavy in the air, a haze over tables where fortunes were won and lost. And there was Leo, my sweet brother, not playing, but arguing. He was cornered by a hulking figure, their voices a low, menacing growl. The gestures were frantic, desperate. I couldn't hear the words, but I saw the fear in Leo's eyes. This was about more than just money, it was about survival. Images flashed through my mind, unbidden. Leo as a little boy, proudly showing me a frog he'd found. Leo on his graduation day, beaming with promise. How did that bright-eyed boy end up here, trapped in this world of shadows and debt? The contrast was a punch to the gut. The innocence of our shared past felt like a cruel joke against this dark, terrifying present. I couldn't stand by and watch him drown. I found him back at his tiny apartment, the air still crackling with the tension from the warehouse. I didn't knock. I just walked in, holding up the box. "What is this, Leo?" My voice was barely a whisper, but it cut through the silence like a knife. He flinched, his face crumbling. The argument that followed was a storm of accusations and heartbreak. "Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you trust me?" I yelled, tears streaming down my face. Finally, the dam broke. He confessed everything. The family business, our parents' legacy, had been on the verge of bankruptcy for months. A secret he'd carried alone. The gambling, the loans, it was all a desperate, misguided attempt to save us. He wasn't chasing a thrill, he was trying to be a hero, but he'd chosen a path that led him straight into hell. The weight of his sacrifice, and the betrayal of his secrecy, crashed down on both of us. My anger dissolved into a deep, aching sorrow. He was still my brother. In the quiet aftermath of our fight, I looked at him, really looked at him, and saw the scared boy he was trying so hard to hide. "Okay," I said, my voice steady now. "We'll fix this. Together. But no more secrets, Leo. No more lies." We sat at his small kitchen table, the box of horrors open between us. One by one, we laid out the bills, the notices, the mess he'd made. It was a mountain of debt and fear. But for the first time in a long time, he wasn't alone. It was the beginning of a long road, I knew that. A road paved with difficult conversations and hard work. But as we sorted through the chaos, paper by paper, a tiny flicker of hope ignited in the darkness. This was more than just paying off a debt, it was about rebuilding a trust, and finding our way back to each other. Thank you so much for watching our story. If you connected with it, please give this video a like and subscribe for more content like this. We'll see you in the next one.